Coming up on GT, we learn about affirmative action,
we watch a video on hallway etiquette,
and someone got hit by a semi-truck. Are you a Swiftie?
Affirmative.
What do you love about Taylor Swift?
She's always so active. I know it all too well. Full of action.
Affirmative action. Wait a minute.
Let's take a look at Dilia's video about affirmative action.
Lawsuits against Harvard and the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill are challenging the school's race-based admissions policies.
The U.S. Supreme Court is hearing two of the biggest cases of the year,
asking them to overturn 40 years of precedent on affirmative action.
They could determine the future of race-based affirmative action in higher education across America.
Admissions policies need to be race-blind,
saying that it contradicts the Constitution's guarantee of equal treatment.
Does look like the court's conservative majority is ready to take another huge legal step and end the long era of affirmative action in higher education in America.
If you've been paying attention to the news lately, there has been discussion on the college admissions process, more specifically, the use of affirmative action.
Affirmative action is a tool or resource that has been used by jobs and universities as an opportunity to help diversify environments that are often not very diverse.
The term today usually means using race as one factor among many when making decisions about hiring or admissions to universities. At the university level, having a diverse classroom ends up creating diverse perspectives. When race is considered as a factor in college admissions, that ends up actually kind of reducing the likelihood that those students would be admitted to a university. And other students, their race as a factor in admissions might be used as essentially something that would help them gain admissions.
The affirmative action levels the playing field. Some of those students who have already come from some of the worst schools in the nation and had to leap and work so hard oftentimes without the resources that other schools had, that it will just make it harder for them and not give them the opportunity to show that, yes, just like you give opportunities for those legacy students, that I can do this, I can be successful here as a college student.
But with the decision of the use of affirmative action in the college admissions process, people form different opinions about it, depending on if and how the policy affects them.
For many minorities, whether they receive affirmative action or not, is this notion that somehow because you got into a university, you're not intelligent, but that you got in based off of affirmative action. That has become a stereotype.
The knee-jerk reaction would be to say, oh, they must have gotten in for this reason. College admissions are extraordinarily complicated, and I would push back on any attempt of any young person here or any adult here, frankly, to say that this is going to dramatically change every single kid in our building.
I do worry that we have people who are like, oh, those kids got in based off of affirmative action and I didn't, and I was there on merit, and that stereotype is dangerous.
Hold on. How does affirmative action even affect students at Clayton? 64.3% of students enrolled in the 2021 to 2022 school year were white, with the remaining 35.7% being people of color or minorities. With proficient teachers and resources, Clayton High School students are able to thrive academically. So if affirmative action were to be overturned by the Supreme Court, students at Clayton would not be significantly affected.
I don't think, though, that our student body will all of a sudden not be able to go to college or all of a sudden now be able to go to college. It's a difference of around the edges.
I think it would more so impact students who are coming from environments that are not as resource dense and with often having teachers who are not as prepared to prepare them for what's coming next.
Create some sort of tool to effectively fix the harm that was caused.
We need to look at those policies, and just because you need to look at the policy doesn't mean you need to throw out the idea.
Did you know hallways were invented in 1823?
No way.
You didn't, because I lied.
Anyways, let's listen to Brooklyn explain hallway etiquette.
This is awkward. How about this? This is also awkward. What about this one?
Where do you like to go study? I go to the CTE hallway.
Wow, I wish there was a video about the best places to study around CHS.
Riley and Luke explain the best study spots according to CHS students.
I quite like to study in the library, which is where we're at right now, and I also really enjoy studying over at the high top tables in the science wing just because I have a lot of classes in that area and it's a convenient spot to be in.
My favorite study spot is the library. I like it because there's lots of closed rooms and it's quiet.
My favorite study spot is like on like the 3rd floor. There's this like bench by all the windows, and I just like sit on it and do my homework with my friends.
My favorite study spot is probably just doing my homework in Learning Center because it's a really quiet environment, so it's easy to do my work.
Can you spell dinner?
No.
Neither can I. Can you spell party?
No.
Neither can I. Let's watch Kevin skit about both these things at once.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Can I take your hat? Oh, I see you dressed up.
I didn't realize they're so business casual.
Come with me.
Thank you for having me over for dinner.
Don't mention it.
I just did.
Good point. Let's eat.
This looks delicious.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
I'm sorry. I appear to have put the cart before the horse.
Ah, I can assure you there is no horse in this meal.
Thank goodness. I'm on a diet at my doctor's recommendation.
You know what they say. An apple a day keeps the doctor away.
Well, I suppose then that I may cancel my upcoming appointment.
So, have you seen any good movies as of late?
Yes. I enjoy observing the artwork here on your walls.
Thank you, but I did not paint this myself.
That was never brought into question.
Would you care to listen to some music?
No thank you. I plan on listening to music tomorrow and I don't want to spoil it.
So, how's the wife?
Peachy.
No, these are apples. I see you haven't touched your drink.
Indeed. Do you have anything else?
Sorry, it's not tap.
Enough chit-chat. Let's talk business.
Oh, you've cornered me now.
Company values you greatly.
Oh, tell them I love them too.
But they're planning on letting you go.
Oh no.
On vacation.
Dear God.
I'm embarrassed to say it, but I don't drink water. Do you have any milk?
One moment. Aged 10 years.
Thank you. Excuse me. I'm a bit drowsy.
Ah, I'd better get going.
Farewell!
I used to play with toy trucks when I was a kid.
That's weird.
No, it's not.
It would be less weird if trucks existed in real life.
They do, though.
What? Next, are you gonna tell me that legs exist too?
Yes. And a teacher hit a kid with a truck. Let's watch AnMei's video about this.
time when Mr. McCord hit a kid with his semi-truck in the CTE parking lot.
Oh my God.
I had almost forgotten about that.
Oh, wow. Really bringing up old memories, eh?
It must have been about May 4th, 1975.
I think it was May 4th, 1975.
May 4th, 1975.
And I was in the library.
I was in culinary class.
I was actually in Canada. Heard about it through the grapevine.
All of a sudden, Mr. Gachewski comes on the loudspeakers and says,
"Long live Lady Gaga, and make sure to stream applause tonight."
Which was awfully confusing because Dr. Gachewski would have only been about 5 years old then.
Well, I didn't really care about that. I'm more of a Lana Del Rey girl, but then I hear this pop.
It sounded like someone popping open a bag of chips, only it was a metal car hitting a kid instead of someone popping open a bag of chips.
Well, I ran out to see what all the hubbub was, right? Turns out JFK was assassinated. Well, it actually happened about 12 years before that. I was a little late to the party.
I immediately opened the window, jumped out 3 stories, closed the window just to see what was going on.
Then I see Mr. McCord wearing nothing but a trucker hat and a Batman onesie.
He points his finger at me and says, "You're not ready for this. Avada Kedavra." And then he points again and candy falls out of his finger. He was right. I was not ready.
Yeah, but then he says, "So I also hit this kid with my semi-truck."
But get this, it was 2 kids.
2 kids.
2 kids. Twins, for Pete's sake.
And keep in mind, we had triplets back then. Everyone was a triplet. But twins? Twins were a rare commodity.
Everyone wanted to assure that the twins were okay. Well, everyone except for evil Judas.
Yeah, and they were all fine and all, so we just went back in and listened to Chromatica.
But then right as we go inside, we hear another loudspeaker voice that says,
"Another Mr. McCord has hit the twins."
Well, what we know now is that Mr. McCord was a twin himself, so his counterpart had actually hit the twins.
Unfortunately, nobody died.
I'll never forget that fateful day.
I wish my dad could have been with us to see Mr. McCord hit the twins. Unfortunately, he wasn't. He was in Hawaii, where he was set to be buried.
Maybe it was never about the kids or the cars. Maybe.
Maybe?
Maybe the real Mr. McCord was the friends we made along the way.
Thanks for watching CHS. This has been Aaron Miller
and JoJo Ireland for GT.
Have a good Thanksgiving break.
I can